All right. What is up? Live on Instagram, live on Facebook, I think. No, not Facebook yet. But welcome back to the Weekly Ritual news show and fundraiser. We are doing these once again for the rest of the year and maybe for the foreseeable future. Thy will be done. Holy shit, what is up? Props to my Providence, Rhode Island people. Auntie Mosbeast is here in the chat. Raquel Figlo is here in the chat. What's up, Raquel? Happy holidays. Merry Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Festivus, whatever you celebrate. Nothing. If you celebrate nothing, that's cool too. You can still have a peaceful, successful, good time if you're anti all the things. But if you're not anti all the things, enjoy, be peaceful, relax, be safe if you're traveling. Once again, it's the weekly ritual, our weekly news festival, tour dates, news updates. Doomstress is here. What is up, Doomstress? Hello. I would press the wave button to all of you, but my T-Rex arms cannot reach the phone in the holder, so you'll just have to deal with a real human wave. This is our weekly show. Before I dispense with the pleasantries and get down to business, like I said, this is a tough time in the year. I'm going to adjust this guy a little bit, tiny little bit. Let's see if that helps. Maybe. It's a tough time in the year. There's a lot of discourse going around. People are just beefing. It's either, my way or the highway. Nobody is safe. Nobody is happy. Nobody is, if you don't agree with them, you're a pariah. Try real hard to, find a middle ground with people as we're into the holiday season, and if you can't agree with people and they're just totally atrocious to you, you can also keep your opinion to yourself and say nothing. This isn't about any particular thing. I'm just reading the room online lately. It's just real horrible out there. And, be a little kinder. And if somebody's less intelligent than you or you don't agree with them, you can also say nothing. Just throwing it out there. You don't have to always react. Especially knee-jerk reactions, not the best idea. Especially if you have a band or a brand you need to protect. Rich Zeller is here, my man. Strong Island in the house. One of my favorite photographers in the whole world. Always repping the Yankees cap, my dude. But yeah, man, let's just be a little nicer. Not for any particular reason, but just like the constant fuck you if you don't agree with me shit is getting super tiresome. And we need to put more positivity out in the world, especially in the music community. You know what I'm saying? So this is our weekly show. I'm going to run down some stuff. This is also a fundraiser. If you hit the link in our bio on Insta, if you hit the link in the description on YouTube, we are trying to raise money to replace our gear that was destroyed in an accident at a festival a few months ago. The person that broke the stuff was apologetic somewhat, did pay something, but not nearly enough money to help us replace everything. If you feel like you can't, it's a hard time out there. There's a lot of people with major life crises right now. If you can't give, don't give. It's fine. Thunderstorms is here with a few R's. I like that. Also, we're running an advertising sale just because it's the end of the year and our rates are going up in January. So, if you feel like I'd like to donate, but I also would like something back from my donation, buy some ads. Buy some ads from us. We're running a sale on our most expensive ads on the site. They're all at a discount right now until, initially it was Christmas. It was the Krampus sale because, why not be edgy and say Krampus? But, if I might extend it a few more days into next week because, people seem to have peeled away for the holiday. But anyway, DM me, hit me up. You know where to find me, at ghostcultmag, at ghostcultkeefy on all the socials, at Ghost Cult Magazine on Facebook. I don't really read the DMs, but Twitter DMs are open. I don't really do the DMs on Insta that much, a little bit. And hit us up. There's also an advertising page on our website if you're really interested. Labby Dabby 242. That's a fun name. Is that like Front 242? I like that my internet is super inconsistent right now, but super helpful that the internet goes out on and off. San Francisco, you would be surprised to find out the Wi-Fi is not good. We don't have 5G in the most tech-savvy town, in one of the most tech-savvy parts of the country. You'd be surprised. We don't have 5G. Internet's dodgy. But anyway, I'm wearing my festive holiday hat for the holidays. If you show up, we're trying to get to 3,000 subs on YouTube. If you show up on YouTube and you give us a super thanks, I will drink a shot of this whiskey, this Metallica Blackened whiskey they sent to me. It's not really a shot whiskey, it's a sipping whiskey, but whatever. I'm a goofball. I also have a beer in case I want to drink a beer. I got a Corona here. But yeah, this is our weekly show. We do this every week. We're doing these. Usually these are produced and edited by my homie and my partner and my BFF, Omar Cory. He's on vacation. Yeah, thank you very much, Brooklyn Miss. It is fucking dope. I would like a glittery Satan or something on here, maybe for next year. But Amazon, dirt cheap. I hate to give these fucks my money, but you gotta go with sometimes the inexpensive thing is. And of course, the Merciful Fate shirt. No presents for Christmas, whether you're good or bad. But anyway, here's the script. We usually run down. We start our show with a remembrance of anybody that's passed away this week. A general shout out, and then we hit up the features you might have missed here at Ghost Cult, interviews we've done, things we're doing, things we want you to check out. Then we go through festivals. It's the end of the year. It's quieting down. The inbox is getting to a manageable level. So it might be a little less this week, but there's some interesting festival stuff. Then we bullet point maybe the top 10 stories of the week, news-wise. Then I unbox something or I show something fun in the mailbag segment, something I got in the mail, something I'm enjoying that I might have picked up or bought or was shipped to me. Got a lot of records for free this year. It's very unusual. I'm not used to getting, we always get access to music early if you review records, but I actually got sent a lot of vinyl and stuff this year. It's just like, hey, thanks for reviewing this, or hey, would you review this? Here's the vinyl. Or sometimes there was some record store day stuff or reissue stuff that we were sent, not just me, but our staff around the world. Some of them were sent, hey, here's this vinyl. We want you to review specifically the vinyl, and we got sent stuff. It's very expensive to ship this stuff. So much appreciated to everybody, record labels, PR partners, anybody who sent us stuff. And then we get out of here and give you back your night if you're going to watch. I appreciate every single person. Ghost Cult is 10 years in the business. I appreciate everybody that's ever supported us. I say very often, a music website, unless you're the big guys, Consequence of Sound, Pitchfork, Spin, Rolling Stone, we are not. If you don't have corporate backing, you're just like a band. We're a DIY enterprise. We make a little bit of money. We're trying to just break even or get a little bit ahead of that, but it's tough out here for a player, All right. My script is around here somewhere. Let's see. Because the internet went out. It kiboshed all my shit. Give me 1 second. Here we go. So first and foremost, in some remembrances this week, Terry Hall, the punk rock legend, ska punk legend from the Specials, passed away after an illness at 63 this week. In addition to being the leader of the Specials and a working class voice in the original ska punk movement, along with The Clash and a bunch of other bands. He was in Fun Boy 3. He had a few other bands. He co-wrote Our Lips Are Sealed with the Go-Go's, and he was a frequent co-writing partner with a lot of other bands, and he passed away. Very sad. 63 is still kind of too young to me, Very sad. Drummer Dino Danelli from the Young Rascals and Little Steven Van Zandt. If you know the song Good Lovin', classic rock staple from the 60s, Dino was the iconic drummer. He laid down that hot beat, and he passed away. Primal Scream, a band that was hot in the 90s. Their keyboardist and co-founder, Martin Duffy, died this weekend after suffering a brain injury from a fall in his home. Falls in homes usually kill elderly people, not kind of middle-aged rock people. So very sad. Rest in power, Martin Duffy. Yeah, just rough, just rough. And then maybe not necessarily music, but just two cultural people of interest to me that passed away. Mike Hodges is a film director best known for Flash Gordon, the movie. If you certainly know the Queen soundtrack to Flash Gordon, Mike directed that film. It's one of my favorite films of all time. It's campy, it's sci-fi, it's goofy, it's great. Sam Jones is the star. He also directed and wrote Get Carter, Pulp, The Terminal Man, Black Rainbow, Croupier, Sleep When I'm Dead. A lot of movies. Guy was great. Passed away this week. And also just randomly, Franco Harris, from the Pittsburgh Steelers, the former football star, died suddenly. Just just out of nowhere. This weekend is the 50th anniversary of arguably the most exciting play in football history, the Immaculate Reception, in which Franco Harris, basically scooped up like a tipped ball and ran for a long touchdown. It was an incredible play. He's an incredible athlete, and apparently, by all accounts, a sweet guy. Pro Football Hall of Famer Franco Harris passed away. There's going to be a lot of stuff this weekend about the anniversary of that play, and then was supposed to be celebrated, and his number retired, and now he's passed on. Sucks. Guy from my childhood. I was not a Pittsburgh fan, but just saying, they used to whip my team's ass. I'm a Giants fan. Sorry to my New England peeps on this call, but yeah, I'm a Giants sports fan, New York sports fan. Anywho, things you might have missed this week at Ghost Cult. Feature interviews in particular. I interviewed director Tobey Amies. He directed the recent King Crimson documentary, In the Court of the Crimson King. He was granted unrestricted access to the whole band, including enigmatic Robert Fripp. I know people watch Robert Fripp and his wife do goofy cover songs on YouTube, but Robert Fripp has been one of the most incredible guitar players in progressive rock and just rock in general for over 50 years, since he was like 19, and he's 71. And he's a very peculiar and interesting guy to work with. And it's very heavy, this documentary, and Robert drops a lot of shit. And the whole band is just very frank. Their drummer, Bill Rieflin, passed away during the filming or right after the filming. I got to see King Crimson on that last big tour with Bill on drums, and he had been battling cancer for many years. And, very sad. Bill also played with Ministry and a bunch of other bands. So that Toby is an incredible interview. If you like any kind of classic rock or progressive rock, Toby's got the insights on King Crimson like no one ever has. Also in a little more modern and genre specific to Ghost Cult stuff, I interviewed Cory and Meg from Casket, Robbery, one of the best death metal bands out there. They have a brand new album out right now, Rituals of Death, released via Blood Blast distribution. Cory and Meg are awesome. I followed their career for a very long time, and I'm very proud of them with this record. But also, we broke down the songwriting, we broke down the lyrics, and they have a couple of killer videos that they did basically DIY. So just real interesting. Serpent Conjuration is back. What's up, Serpent Conjuration? You are becoming a favorite of mine, showing up all the time in the live streams. Thanks for being here again. Nice to see you again. So yeah, Casket Robbery, if you love brutal death metal, you want to check them out. They're from Wisconsin. They're going to be doing some touring next year. Check out my interview with Cory and Meg from Casket Robbery. A little quiet on the podcast front this week, but there's some podcasts coming in addition to this show. Will be a podcast after this airs. So yeah, check it out. I probably the next couple of podcasts that are going to run are Ken Andrews from Failure and Leather Leone, the heavy metal legend who has a brand new album out. So a lot of fun stuff going on there. Also, we did our album of the year whole shebang a couple of weeks ago. Our staff all over the world, about 60 people, I think about 46 people voted. 276 albums. Our countdown had 75 to 1. We did an extensive deep dive from 50 to 1. And the number one album of the year, it's already a few weeks old, so it's not a secret anymore, was Machine Head of Kingdom and Crown. This is not my personal vote. This is the staff of Ghost Cult all over the world voting. And so Machine Head was number one. Check out our list. They'll be linked in the description, especially on YouTube, but it's also in our link tree on Insta and everywhere else. And yeah, check it out and tell us, everybody's got opinions about what their favorite and best record was. Drop a comment with your favorite record of the year this year or your album of the year. Let us know what you have. But we have Machine Head. I'm a big fan. And I was mildly surprised they won because it was a diverse group in the top. It could have been anybody that won. So really cool. Not a runaway landslide victory, but a victory nonetheless. Also, I know the holidays are among us and commercialism and capitalism blows, but it's okay to buy things for people, buy things for yourself. We did a gift guide for rockers and metalheads. It was very thoughtful. Some of these things have affiliate links that help the channel also and help our business. But if you're interested, I know it's kind of late to get anything shipped to you. Joey Diabolic is here. What up, homie? Joey has new music coming in January. I'm probably going to do an interview with Joey at some point and hang out. So that'll be fun. Thanks for being here, pal. But we did a gift guide. You can still buy gift cards for people, and you can still support creators and DIY people who make stuff that rockers and metalheads like, and still support them even if your gifts are not going to get there on time. Just a thought. Just a thought. And finally, in the features, I am the co-host of the sister podcast, The Ghost Cult, the glacially musical pouredcast, as in pour beer, vinyl, metal, swearing, hockey, pop culture, Kevin Smith movies, whatever. We are doing a late year run of Kiss's albums of the 70s. Honestly, as much of a Kiss fan as I have always been, it has been fucking excruciating to do these Kiss albums. Most of them are terrible, Jesus Christ. But it's a fun podcast series. Nick and I are huge Kiss fans, so it's like balancing the fact that I love the band, plus some of these records are garbage. It's fun. It makes for a good conversation. Yeah, Nick is wonderful, man. Nick is a wonderful guy. He's become a good friend of mine. I'm a huge fan. And yeah, man, I feel very thankful to jump on a call with him every week and drink some beers and chop it up. Anywho, time for the actual news on the news show. Yeah, I know. And we keep it real. I'm going to tell you, Brooklyn Miss, we keep it real when it comes to any, like we did a series on Iron Maiden when Iron Maiden's had a couple of questionable things they did in the 80s, even though as much as we love Maiden and they're like unfuckwithable to an extent, there's also some of their stuff's like, whoa. Every Iron Maiden record's got like 6 or 7 bangers and then a couple of tracks they didn't even try. They didn't even try. And it's the same thing. Just because we love a band, they're not exempt from getting the treated a certain way. Anywho, festival news. Beyond the Gates Festival in Norway. This is a bucket list thing for me. I want to go to this. Beyond the Gates, black metal, death metal, extreme metal in Oslo, Norway, every year. They have announced their full lineup. I gotta call this up. This is wild. Here it is. Listen to this shit. Here's this. So Beyond the Gates, headlined by Dimmu Borgir in one of their few shows in all of 2023. I think they're working on a record most of next year. So Dimmu Borgir, Creator, Gorgoroth, Deicide playing Legion, which they've been doing the 30th anniversary thing for a while, but, they haven't done it in Europe much. So Legion, Enslaved with a brand new album coming out. Alcest maybe with a new album soon. Insane. Lineup is insane. Here's a few more bands. This poster is mostly unreadable logos, by the way, of course. Possessed, homies from the Bay Area here. Shout out to Jeff Becerra. Perturbator, Primordial, Midnight, Blood Incantation, Mare, Eternal Champion. We need more swords and chainmail out there in metal. Grave Miasma. So many cool bands. So many. In Twilight's Embrace, another cool band. So yeah, Beyond the Gates Festival. Sick stuff. This is going to be a lot of fun. Also in Norway, also announced this week, Inferno Metal Festival in Oslo. JT LaChapelle, what's up and welcome. Welcome to the Ghost Cult Magazine weekly ritual news show. I am running down festivals and tour dates. We're in the news portion. You've missed the slow boiling portion where I build up stuff Ghost Cult has done. Now I actually talk about news and shit. So Inferno Metal Festival, in addition to having already announced their full lineup, they usually do these cultural tours where everybody gets on a little bus and you ride around Oslo and you go to Helvete and you see where the Black Circle Club was. and you go to Fantoff Church, and if you love black metal and the history, the very complicated and sometimes sketchy, history of first and second wave black metal, this is a real educational opportunity. And they've added more tours now, because like the first one sold out in no time. So this tour is actually guided by Anders Odden. If you don't know who Anders Odden is, he's a black metal legend. He's in Satyricon right now. It's unfreaking believable. Tickets are on sale now. It's April 7th, 2023. And here's the Inferno lineup. Listen to this. These are just the day headliners. Thursday, Emperor, Cannibal Corpse, Dark Funeral, Jevel, Mork, Nervosa, a few other bands, 1914, Ingested. Friday, Amorphous, Godflesh, Wolves in the Throne Room, Odium, Harakiri for the Sky, Massacre, Holder, oh my God. Saturday night, Watain, Nile, Arcturus. I never say this band's name correct. Gaia. Anybody help me out with that? They're from Portugal. Great black metal band this year. Svalbard, Wayfarer from Denver. Holy shit. That's a big show for those guys. Bloodhaven, like amazing. And then Sunday, just because you haven't had enough all weekend, Elder for some Stoner Doom. Abbat, Unleashed, Uada, Crowbar, Vreidhammer. I mean, unbelievable. And the cultural tour and just being in Norway. Ridiculous. I have to go to this someday. I have to. All right. So that's Beyond the Gates. That's Inferno. Let's see what else we got. Here's a fun one to kick it back to America and some American festivals. Blue Ridge Rock Festival, which has been kind of like the destination butt rock fest in West Virginia, West Virginia border every year, last few years. They have been famous for having these band reunions, right? And this year they had Kitty and God Forbid's first show back in 10 years, and Shadows Fall and other bands. And so Blue Ridge Rock Fest, again, it's the Red State. Sorry, everybody, Red State Rock Fest. I don't know what else to call it. I had the page open here, but again, my internet shit the bed right before I went on live. So let's see. Nope, that's not it. I know they just announced they're going to have Cold Chamber this year. Stabbing Westward's not reuniting, but they have a killer album out from this year that's awesome. And Christopher Hall's been battling throat cancer, so I'm very excited that he's getting well and they're booking shows and festivals. So Stabbing Westward, Cold Chamber, Flyleaf reunited with Lacey Sturm, tons of other metal bands. Blue Ridge Rock Festival, usually second weekend in September, I'm going to say. Sorry, I don't have the full. I was going to read off like the full. I think they just added Drowning Pool, so you know what you're kind of getting. 1990s, early aughts, Mayhem Fest, Ozfest bands, right? I think that's fair. Furnace Fest, the hardcore fest, also taking place similarly around the middle of September every year. Furnace Fest in Alabama. Chris Small is here. What's up, Chris Small? Ghost Cultist. Happy holidays, Chris. It's been a tough year. I love you, brother. I just want to shout you out. It Dies Today has been added to Furnace Fest. They haven't played in ages. They've been on hiatus. Foreman Music is here. What's up, Foreman Music? Anybody here on YouTube? I should be checking. Joey Diabolic is here. Power Slave was the last album I could listen to cover to cover. Fair enough. Power Slave is my favorite Iron Maiden record, period. Thanks for being here. Again, if anybody jumps into the chat and gives us a super chat of $5, I will drink a shot of this not shot drinkable blackened whiskey that Metallica sent to me, by the way. Metallica sent me this bottle. I interviewed their master distiller. Super cool. I feel very lucky. I don't take any of this shit for granted. I've been in music journalism almost 20 years. I played in bands for 20 years, pretty marginally successful in the tri-state area. But yeah, this is what I do. I have fun out here. Let's see. Anything else? Before I get into the rest of the news, let's talk about our sponsor for today's show. This is really cool. We got our very first. We have a lot of affiliate partners where, like, if you book something or buy something, we might get like a little penny or two, and that's super cool. We were a very early affiliate partner of Liquid Death Mountain Spring Water. We still are. They used to give us water, merch, and money. It was crazy. We did a lot of driving of traffic to them early on. We have a couple of other affiliate partners. Last week's affiliate sponsor was vidIQ. If you're a content creator on YouTube specifically and you want to get better and make better videos and use data intelligence to make better videos, vidIQ. But this week we're going to talk about Phoenix Pro, man. Phoenix Pro is an awesome audio brand for musicians and studio files and live artists. And they sent us, I have it behind me here. You can't really see it on Instagram, but if you're on YouTube, you can see it behind me. The Phoenix Pro PTU 2U True Diversity wireless microphone system. We did a whole video on this. We did an unboxing, a field test, and a review. I went to a music festival and interviewed bands with our typical lav mics. Now, I don't know if you've been to a music festival, you know that shit is loud. So imagine being in the press tent in an open air tent interviewing bands while the stages are going on each side of you. It's hard. And I love interviewing bands. We got a bunch of content coming still from some festivals this year. And we use these microphones. We have some lavs, and we have some regular wired microphones with 1/4-inch cables if you're a musician. And then we got these wireless microphones, and they were a game changer. They're so cool. I'm not just saying that. If it sucked, I would say I don't like this, I don't like that. But this thing was really powerful and durable under the worst conditions for at least a journalist. So I can only imagine how awesome it would be in a club. If you need, it's literally plug and play right out of the box with almost nothing to do. Literally unbox it and use it. So check it out. Our links are in the description everywhere. We are now not only did we get paid to review this thing, we are now an official affiliate partner of the brand, and we have a coupon code. So that's cool. We don't always have coupon codes. We usually have like direct special links, right? That experience of how you buy a thing. So yeah, check out Phoenix Pro if you're a musician. Or you have the need for wireless microphones. Check them out. Regular ass tours and shows. That's what the script says. Regular ass tours and shows. Just a handful this week as things are getting announced for next year, but just a handful. Life of Agony is going to do yet another River Runs Red anniversary tour. 30 years in 2023. They're going to tour the U.S. with Sick of It All. They've already got European dates on the docket. So, and probably some festivals and stuff. So super excited for them. Meshuggah and the Halo Effect are going to do a tour of Scandinavia. Both of those bands were in our Ghost Cult Album of the Year top 20, if you're interested. The Ghost Inside, one of the comeback stories of all time after a terrible bus crash. Almost killed the whole band and maimed the drummer. That guy's a miracle. He's back playing drums with like a bionic leg. Incredible. They're going to do a headline spring tour of the UK, and I am so proud of them. That's great. Oh, I got a shot. Dude, you should not have that. James Guy, what's up and welcome. All right, I guess I'm going to do a shot. Holy shit. You guys are going to watch me do this. All right. Luckily, I ate dinner earlier. One finger? We'll say one finger, right? Oh, that's more than a finger. Fuck. All right. Should be a little more gentle there. Cheers, motherfuckers. Cheers. Ooh. You are not supposed to take a shot of that whiskey. It's supposed to be slowly sipped. Fun story. For my 49th birthday, and within a year of moving to San Francisco, I got to see Metallica in a small club with 500 other people here in San Francisco, about 2 miles from my house. And that whole story was wild. I'll tell the whole story another time. But that was the first time I had the Blackened whiskey. And I literally it's like at the show. So, it's like $25 for the shot at the show, at the Metallica show. And I get the Blackened whiskey, and I literally shoot it. And the bartender's like, no, you're supposed to sip it. It's a slow sipping whiskey. I was like, fuck this. It's my birthday. I'm going to get fucked up. I got the set list that night. I saw Metallica like from 100 feet away. They did not play Enter Sandman. It was amazing. Good times. I have managed to see Metallica like 5 times since moving to San Francisco just because they played here a lot. So awesome. All right. Back to the show. And let's see what else. Unique Leader is celebrating 25 years as a label in 2023. They got a lot of technical death metal bands. They're from San Diego. They're amazing. And they just announced their some more bands coming on to their. Yeah, man, I was at Woodstock '99 also. That's crazy. When I lived in New York, yeah, Woodstock '99 is a whole mood. There's a video here on YouTube all about my experience there. It's a whole everything. It's worse than even those documentaries. I'm serious. Vulvodyna, one of the coolest technical death metal bands, is on this Unique Leaders tour, along with To the Grave, Viseria, Osaya, and Bound in Fear. All those three bands are from the UK. Whew. Yep. Thank you very much for the super chat, Joey. You're the man. Yeah, I'm like, wow. And this Santa hat's feeling hot now that I'm drinking. But all right. On to the regular news. And I promise it's going to speed up from here. Believe me when I tell you. Ozzy has been in the news. You know, he's been nominated for 2 Grammys. I don't give a shit about awards really, but you know, Ozzy's been doing a lot of press around these Grammy nominations, and he's been talking about his health, right? And Ozzy's dream is to get back to touring, because that's the thing he loves the most is the fans, and he wants to go on stage. But honestly, he's revealed that his life the last few years has been like a living hell. He's had a series of surgeries. He just had a neck and back surgery last year. And he's supposed to go on tour this spring with Judas Priest for the No More Tours Part 2 tour. And I don't know if it's going to happen. I love Ozzy, man. I'm still upset about Lemmy. Lemmy's birthday and death anniversary are coming up, and I'm still not good, right? I don't want to imagine my life without Ozzy. You know, whatever you feel about him. You know, Dio's a better singer, whatever. Like, Ozzy is a legend, man. He's metal history, and I don't want him going anywhere. So, anywho, yeah, Ozzy's in a lot of, you know, having some trouble. Charles Schwab is here. It's a cool name. Are you actually suave, Charles? I hope so. He's really working hard. He's doing physical therapy. He's taking meds. He's trying to get back to touring. But, like, you know, Thy Will Be Done is here. You dudes know how hard it is to tour, even at the highest level of touring, in a van, in a tour bus, with every possible comfort, as well off and wealthy as Ozzy is. It's hard on you to tour. It's hard. I traveled for business and I was like a wreck. I can't imagine how y'all do it on a tour bus or in the van. Like, and I just think he's like almost 80 with major medical problems. He has trouble walking. It's a grind, dude. That's why a lot of people can't sustain a long career in music. You know, I'm waiting for some new Thy Will Be Done music and some tours, and hopefully get you guys back out on the road. But it's hard, bro. It's hard. The photograph that broke the internet today. And eventually we're going to get some software happening here where we can pull up stuff and you can see it on YouTube. Danny Filth and Ed Sheeran are making a record or a song or something together. This has been talked about for a long time in the metal media, and a lot of people thought it was a joke. I've interviewed Danny Filth a few times, and he talked about like, oh, you know, I've talked to Ed Sheeran about doing a record. All right, yeah, sure, fine. The Jesus is a Cunt guy is going to do a record with like Mr. Song, you know, guitar sensitive guy from the UK. They have shared a photo. Danny shared a photo today of them getting lunch at a pub after leaving the studio. They're making music together. It's happening. What do you think this is going to be like? Is it going to suck? Is it going to be cool? And Ed is a very talented guy. I don't really care for, in general, a lot of pop music, but I like a good song. A good song is a good song. Is it going to be a pop song with a black metal guy on it? Or is it going to be a black metal song with the pop guy writing it? I don't know. No one knows. One of my favorite things about Ed Sheeran is when he got killed off screen in Game of Thrones. So, like, I don't know. I'm not a big fan, but, like, I'm interested. Everybody's interested. Thousands of hits today on the interwebs for Ghost Cult for that picture. Thanks, Danny. Thanks, Danny Phil, for helping us out with our traffic. Elon Musk is destroying Twitter. I live about 10 blocks from Twitter headquarters. I work in social media when I'm not doing Ghost Cult. And, yeah, Elon is running this shit into the ground. We've been flagged a bunch lately for our posts. I don't, you know, because I'm probably talking too much shit. But Elon Musk is running Twitter into the ground. And Fred Durst tweeted that he'd like to help Elon out. Elon has said he ran a poll. He's trolling people. He's doing a lot of polls and weird shit and saying like, oh, you know, should I step down from Twitter? which was like overwhelmingly, yes, you should. He definitely, I would say, just as a social media strategy person, he definitely does not understand how social media works. I understand how he might be smarter than me at business for sure. I'm wearing a Santa hat on the internet on a Thursday night, and he's married to Grimes, and we're the richest guy in the world, just about. So billions of dollars. So I don't know. He's probably smarter than me, but he's sending people to space and making flamethrowers and driverless cars and Teslas and stuff. But he doesn't know how to run a social network. That's for sure. He doesn't understand what makes a social network social. So he says, I'm going to step down as soon as I find somebody who will replace me, and I'll just work on the back end stuff and run other things. Especially because his Tesla stock is tanking as well. It's tied to most of his wealth. So Fred Durst tweets like, hey, man, Fred Durst and Limp Bizkit are at your disposal any way we can help. Does Fred Durst want to be the CEO of Twitter? It couldn't be any worse, right? It'd be kind of fun. Probably be fun. He'd make it fun. He's a fun guy. Supposedly, Limp Bizkit's in the studio making a follow-up record to their 2021 record. Still sucks. We'll see. They had that one banger song, and the rest of it was so-so. All right. Scattered Hamlet is a super cool rock band that was in a terrible van accident on tour earlier in the month. Canceled the rest of their dates. They haven't quite done a fundraiser yet, but they're waiting on insurance appraisals and stuff before, they want to be accurate before they do a fundraiser. But Scattered Hamlet's a hella cool band. We've interviewed the band, and if you want to go, I will drop a link in the description after the video is over, where you can go at least buy their stuff, help them out. I'm sure any sale from a merch right now, a record or a shirt or something, would help them. So if you like that band, check them out. Kind of a boogie heavy metal, a little bit of Black Label Society, a little bit of heavy metal, a little hard rock. Good band, fun guys, good dudes. Definitely support them. Sorry they were in a terrible crash. I'm glad they're okay. Their van and their gear were destroyed except for one road case, weirdly, that they bought from New Kids on the Block. Weird shit. I don't know. 2022 is a trip, bro. It's a whole movie. It's Hanukkah. If you happen to be of the Hebraic faith, it's Hanukkah. 8 days of Hanukkah started this weekend. Dave Grohl and Greg Kurstin every year do like a Hanukkah covers and Hanukkah streams the last couple of years with streaming and everything. They did a concert this year benefiting the ADL in Hollywood, where they had a bunch of guests come up and do songs by Jewish artists. It's kind of fun. And so now they're running one a day. And so I think there's a new one up right now. So far this week, we had Pink, Tenacious D, and Dave Grohl's daughter, Violet. By the way, she's going to be like a superstar Adele-level singer someday. Her voice is insane. It's so good. Violet Grohl. She covered Janice Ian's classic folk rock song, At 17. Pretty cool, very soulful. Good stuff. Hanukkah sessions. Check it out. Dave Grohl. Foo Fighters, we don't know what the future is for them after the tragic death of Taylor Hawkins earlier this year. So I imagine they're going to reconvene and start figuring out the next steps for the future in 2023. A lot of love and light to those folks because, it's hard to lose a friend and such a personality like Taylor, right? AC/DC. Brian Johnson was interviewed. It's just like, don't do interviews if you can't answer questions truthfully. Brian Johnson was interviewed. Like the very last AC/DC show was in 2016 with Axl Rose as the frontman. And then Brian came back in the band. His hearing recovered. He had like a terrible hearing accident. He's a big NASCAR guy. So he was like on the track and a car backfired and blew his eardrum out and he couldn't hear anymore. And he was like, maybe I'm going to be deaf forever and I can't sing. He's already kind of deaf because he never wore earplugs his whole career. He had a surgery, like an implant, and now he can hear again. And they came back with Power Up in 2020. It's pretty good. I liked it. I didn't hate it. Pretty good record. And then so Brian is interviewed and they're like, so what's the status of the band? When are you guys kind of coming out with new stuff? Bagel the Niflheim. Hella cool name. Is that Begat the Niflheim, the band? That's incredible if it is. But Bagel the Niflheim, great name. So yeah, I don't know. He was like very evasive. Like, I can't say what we're doing if we're doing anything. If they hang it up, they hang it up. They had one last hurrah with Brian and, a very long career in general as a band, almost 50 years. I would like to have another record from them. I thought Power Up was pretty good. But don't do interviews if you can't answer questions truthfully. I don't know. That's just basic PR, music business 101. I like Brian. I'm not knocking him, but just very evasive about the future of AC/DC. It's not, say something. I guess he was interviewed by Eddie Trunk, who's let's face it, a softball interviewer. He doesn't ask hard questions. He kisses the asses of his friends. I always looked up to Eddie in New York City. He was a DJ and put a lot of my favorite bands on the map when he worked at Megaforce Records with the late, great John and Marcia Zazula. But, Eddie's not going to ask the hard questions to people he loves, right? It's just never. He's like the Larry King of metal and rock. Metal is being generous, probably, actually. Anyway, whatever. Rough News Malignant Altar has broken up. They not only released one of the best records of this year, they released a recent EP, a split EP that was awesome, and then they put up a post that because of distance issues with the band members and health issues of some of the band members, they're breaking up. What a loss to extreme metal. They're such a good band. Go to Bandcamp and stream and buy some Malignant Altar stuff. It sucks that they're not going to come back. Auntie Mosby says, tells you a lot about the Grammys. I mean, the Grammys are full of shit. People like to win Grammys. It's the same thing like the Hall of Fame. We talk a lot about the Hall of Fame because it gets clicks and people seem to be interested in it. They were mad about Judas Priest making it, but realistically, they were happy about it. It helps the band sustain. It helps them make money. Maybe it keeps them going a few more years, adds another tour to their history. I've had some interactions with the Grammys over my life. They are kind of full of shit people that don't understand how music works. They don't understand how that Rubik's Cube is put together. I'm just going to tell you. What else? This is interesting. The Big Six. Have you heard about this thing this week? 6 vocalists from deathcore, a sometimes maligned genre, but also has a lot of fans. 6 personalities and lead vocalists are coming together to make a supergroup called the Big Six. I saw this thing, and they've already made a recording at Sweetwater Recordings in Fort Wayne, Indiana, with producer Josie Franco, who's made a lot of deathcore records. These are the members of this band. Tell me if this band would interest you if you were putting together a supergroup. Will Ramos of Lorna Shore, probably the most talked about band of 2022. Franz from Attila, a lightning rod of controversy. Pretty entertaining guy. Wouldn't necessarily call him a great vocalist. Joe Bad from Fit for an Autopsy. That dude rules. Taylor Barber of Left to Suffer. Decent band. Good vocalist. Dickie Allen of Infant Annihilator. I have no words for that band. And Tyler Shelton of Traitors, a pretty killer band. They are coming out with a record of some kind in 2023. Supergroups. Sometimes not so super. Sometimes they are. We have another supergroup in the news in a few minutes. In lineup changes and breakups, Nervosa has parted ways with their drummer, Nanu Villalba. I probably said that wrong. Villalba. Sorry. Apologies. She's out of the band. The band made a statement that she's parted ways with them. She was just brought into the band earlier this year to replace the original Nervosa drummer. So Nervosa working on a new record, but needs a new drummer. Rough stuff. Speaking of beef, Journey. Again, have to talk about Journey again. Oh my God. I really don't like this band. I have never liked the band Journey. I understand that people love this band. They love those songs. I stopped believing. Don't stop believing. I stopped believing when I was like 5 years old. But people love Journey. And there's a lot of beef going on in the press. Like shit that would never come out is coming out between keyboardist Jonathan Cain and guitarist and co-founder Neil Schon. Jonathan has written a lot of hits of Journey since he came in the band in the early 80s, including a lot of those big hits Neil is furious. There's some beef about money. Never get between a dude and their money. There's some money shit going on with them that I talked about last week where there's like finances and questions and they're suing each other over who's running the finances. But then also Jonathan Cain's wife is the spiritual advisor to Donald Trump. No love there. Fuck that guy. But okay, they did a party, I guess, at Mar-a-Lago recently this week for Trump, where MTG and Lauren Hobart and people like that and Trump Jr.'s fiance all sang back up to Jonathan Cain and his wife while they did Journey covers. And Neil flipped the fuck out. I think Neil's from the Bay Area and he's pretty liberal to begin with. But historically, they don't want anybody covering their music. Even Steve Perry, who's been out of the band for, 25 years, has said, like, our music is not political. It's about to bring happiness. Please don't play our songs at political things. And as it is, Neil has been talking about kicking John just straight out of the band. Like, wouldn't it be cool if original keyboardist Greg Raleigh came back in the band for our tour next year? Our 50th anniversary tour is next year. Wouldn't it be cool if Greg came back in? So, like, I have a feeling John is out and Greg is back in anyway. It's hard. It's hard. A lot of rock stars have sued politicians of all stripes, no matter what side you're on, or any side. And no side is really worth being on a side, to be honest with you. They're all shitty and corrupt. But a lot of people, Rage Against the Machine, Bruce Springsteen, Dee Snider, a lot of people, Twisted Sister, please don't use our music for political gain. A little bit of Metallica news this year. You're going to get Metallica news all the time. People are like, why do you post so much about Metallica, Slipknot, Tool, Judas Priest, Ozzy, Black Sabbath, Korn? People click on that shit. That's why. I want to talk about Thy Will Be Done, and I want to talk about Primitive Man, and I want to talk about Elder. But, like, people click on the popular shit. I don't know. When they stop clicking on it and they click on the underground shit, I'll be all about it. And we are all about it also. But you're going to get Metallica news, especially with the new record on the horizon, non-fucking stop. Just sorry about that in advance. Metallica lost a rare lawsuit this week. They're famous for suing a lot of people, and they usually win. They lost their lawsuit against insurer Lloyd's of London. Metallica had to cancel some pandemic-era South American tour dates, and they had invested quite a lot of money into setting that tour up. And Lloyd's of London decided, no, we're not covering your insurance claim. And Metallica sued them and lost. So that's a rare L in the L column. If you're a Metallica hater, you like that. I don't know. Lloyd's of London, it's an insurance. Insurance, it's not a scam per se, but it's always like in case of. What if you just pay in forever and nothing bad ever happens? You just never get that money back. But I don't fucking know. On the good side, Metallica has been doing this online archive called the Black Box for a couple of years. They did the Black Album to celebrate the 30th anniversary of the Black Album. They did the 40th anniversary series. And if you're a Metallica diehard, this is for you. You go check out the Metallica Black Box online. I'll link it in the description. They're doing the Art of Metallica right now as the current series. They do like a series. And it's pretty killer, man. They've worked with some amazing artists, not just Pusshead, but just every great artist has done a Metallica shirt or a poster. And if you can't live without Metallica content, here's a definite couple of days you're going to lose of your life checking out the Metallica Black Box. We're almost done with the news, folks, which means the show is almost over. Speaking of super groups that are super, if you're into J-Rock and Japanese rock and Visual K, you might not know the name The Last Rock Stars, which is a brand new group, but you definitely know the characters in the band, the iconic names in the band. Yoshiki from the band X and his incredible solo career, Hide, Sujizo, and Miyavi came together to make The Last Rock Stars. Today, as we record this, they released their debut single and video, The Last Rock Stars Paris Mix. Immediately got thousands of hits, thousands of views on YouTube within like a few hours. Sick. It would be fun. It would be a fun project. A lot of supergroups don't live up to the hype, but it seems like I heard the first song and I liked it. I was like, oh, this is kind of a blend of everybody's talents. That's kind of fun. Also in the news, Orgy has teased a brand new song, Empty. I interviewed Jay Gordon of Orgy earlier this year. I saw them on tour. Next year is the 25th anniversary of their big album, Candy Ass. I think I floated the notion in my interview with Jay that they might have a vinyl at some point of Candy Ass, but vinyl's hard right now if they haven't already worked on it. But yeah, Orgy's going to release at least a few singles and probably announce a big tour when they drop that single. And let's see. I got flagged a bunch on Twitter for this post. So Tool, when we were talking about Tool, they released their first ever statue, which they made with artist Alex Gray, who's done a lot of their album covers and posters, for 10,000 days. And it's like a clear crystal skull with a fetus in the brain area. Fun stuff if you're a Tool fan. And they put a video out of Maynard on tour with Pussifer unboxing the skull. And the bullshit with Twitter was I used Maynard's character name from Pussifer, Dick Merkin. It's comedy, people. It's not an actual sexual. Yeah, yes, it's a semi-sexual groinal area thing, but it's not meant to be a sexual thing. It's funny. And Twitter is like, this is offensive to people. I'm like, get fucked. Yes, Jonathan Davis's half brother is the former singer of Edema, Marky Chavez. That is correct. That's his half brother. Same dad, different mom, I think. All from Bakersfield, California. Edema, one good song. You know, a lot of these new metal groups, that third wave, that second, third, fourth wave. Second wave new metal, pretty good. Third wave, meh, not so great. Edema's in the third wave. Last and not least in the news this week, Iron Maiden wrapped up their Legacy of the Beast tour this year. Next year, they're going to continue to tour the whole world. They got festivals booked. And download all of Hellfest, all of Europe next year. And they just released the behind the scenes of the whole tour. And so if you want to, they're doing a series of videos of behind the scenes. So if you want to check it out, check it out. Yeah, Groin Toupee, that's right, that will be done. Man, Iron Maiden, let's keep them touring as long as possible. So they're supposed to do at some point a club tour, literally a little theater tour of like a few thousand people to play the entirety of Senjutsu with like a whole characters and a Samurai Eddie and maybe visuals and their videos. I think that would be fun to see. I'm getting a call, of course. I think that would be fun to see Iron Maiden in a little place. Sorry about my finger there. Somebody is blowing up my phone. I don't know where my other cell phone is. I got a backup phone somewhere here. Anyway, let's do the mailbag and peace out of this bad boy. This week in the mailbag, I got a cool vinyl. I bought this a while back, a few months ago. This is the Die Die My Darling vinyl single. Hold it up over my face on Insta so you can see it. I'll show it here so you lovely people can see it over on the YouTubes. This is one of my favorite songs ever. Fun fact, producer Omar Cory has this tattoo on his body somewhere. I love this. I love the Misfits. I know Danzig's a chode sometimes. Misfits are great. And I love this. I love this single. So this is on vinyl. It's not really a remaster, so it's definitely pressed from the early, not good sounding masters. But this was like $10 at one of my favorite record stores in the San Francisco area, Thrill House Recordings, which is a cooperative record store. What a cool idea. Everybody that comes in and works there gets a piece of the profits. And a lot of artists, local ones, Rancid, a lot of Jawbreaker, a lot of local punk rock people just donate them shit to sell. So they, it's a cool thing, man. I don't think this is a colored vinyl, but yeah, this is a single on a 45 with a very cool Misfits on the front, if you can make it out without the glare. And of course, the iconic Die Die My Darling artwork on the label on the B-side. So really cool. I love that thing. I've been spinning a lot of vinyl. Guttermouth is killer. Grimple is from here. Obviously, people know Green Day still from somewhat of the area. Lot of great Bay Area hardcore and pop punk and thrash metal and death metal. So good times. Machine Head is playing in Sacramento. I can't get out there. It's a little far for me and requires an overnight stay if I'm going to go to Sac. So I'm going to miss the end of that tour, unfortunately. They didn't play San Fran, but hopefully they'll come back in the spring. So anyway, that brings us to the end of the show. Yet another end of the show. Let me put back my screen here. I went to Warped Tour as a guy almost too old to be going to Warped Tour. I interviewed bands. I went for fun one year. I loved Warped Tour. I feel like the When We Were Young and some of these festivals are the heir apparent to Warped Tour. I don't think we'll ever get another actual full Warped Tour, but maybe eventually they'll come back and do those Warped one-dayers. And I really want to see Mayhem Fest or Ozfest come back. especially Mayhem Fest was rumored to come back a couple of years ago. I really love Mayhem Fest, and I would really like to see it return in all its glory. That being said, you made it to the end of the show. If you have actually still watching, like a few of you here on Insta and a few of you on YouTube, thanks so much for being here, man. I don't take any of this for granted. 10 years in the game, still punching. Year 11 coming up. And, it's like I said, this is the holidays. And as much as I want people to have fun. Oh, I know VOD a long time. Yeah, VOD, man. I saw them a whole bunch, Gabe. It's a tough time in the world, and I say that all the time. And when you repeat something all the time, maybe it loses its value. But the holidays, whatever you feel about the holidays or the end of the year, is a very tough time for people. Merry Christmas to you too, Brooklyn Miss. Ooth, the band is here. As I'm wrapping this up, the end of the year, however you feel about holidays and religions and stuff, pagan rituals, whatever, is hard on a lot of people. I've had some depression lately. It's hard out there. So please check on friends. If you're not doing okay, tell somebody, even if it feels embarrassing, fine, be embarrassed. Tell somebody, hey, I'm not doing okay. Can we hang out? Can I talk? Can we just go do something? I know it's hard, but just you're not alone. Don't be alone on purpose if you're struggling. And definitely check on your friends who you feel might be in danger or need some checking in on. People need love, and this is a hard time in the world, especially when you've lost people. It was recently the 35th anniversary of my father. I'm fucking old now. And, it is what it is. It's just rough. I was a kid when he passed away. I'm a damn old person now. And, it's just hard. So same thing. I'm sure a lot of people out there are thinking about their lost loved ones or just the hardships of their lives. Please check on your friends. Check on yourself. Be honest and check on yourself. And, as we always say, I appreciate everybody for watching this far. Again, this is a fundraiser. If you can't donate, share. There are links in the description. We are trying to replace $4,000 worth of video gear and camera gear that was destroyed. We're a small business and we thrive on micro profits. We are running a sale. If you have a band, a DIY festival, something to promote next year, get in now at the cheap price before the prices go up in January and help yourself. Help us help you. And with that all said and done and out of the way, I am Keefy from ghostcultmag.com. You have been wonderful. Thank you, Instagram. Thank you, YouTube. Thanks for being here. And just again, it's my pleasure and honor. We'll be back next week with a final show of the year, a New Year's Eve show, if you will. And I'm just getting through with the show, and Tara's here. What's up, Tara? I'm leaving now. I've been on here for an hour, by the way. While you've been trying to reach me. But anyway, this has been the Weekly Ritual from ghostcultmag.com. I am Keefy, and you have been terrific. Thanks for being here, and I'm out. Peace.